guys, this is Leslie
and Red Eye Jess
from LeslieVeg Veggies. Jessica has very, very, very bad allergies, and so she's suffering with that, but she's taking some eye drops, and we're trying to keep that at bay. We have a little Maddie Muffin Top in the background. We don't have her in this video because we just want to make this a really quick video. I received a book for review from Robert Rose Inc., and it's called The Best Baby Food. And to us, this is a really, really, really important cookbook. Mm-hmm. There's 125 healthy and delicious recipes for babies and toddlers that you can make at home. Now,
I don't even think we have to keep it at toddlers because some of the food in here Justice would love.
Right, absolutely. Now, Maddie is going to be, she'll be 9 months old soon, and she very, very, very rarely gets commercial food. Like if we're out somewhere and we just can't find anything else, which is really unusual because no matter where you are, you can have a banana or you can mash up some avocado, but rarely does she get baby food. I have one pouch, and it's for a toddler in my pantry. We make her baby food, but mostly I use my blend tech, and I will cook peas or string beans, mash up pumpkin.
But what you're trying to say is we're not like Martha Stewart.
I'm not Martha Stewart.
It's so easy to do.
It's usually a single food, Jessica.
And it's cheap.
It's cheap, but she's getting older, and I really want to expand her taste buds, and I don't want her to become a finicky eater.
Well, this is what this book is trying to tell you.
I really love this book.
I got this. This is my area of expertise.
Hit it, Jess. I'll interject where I feel necessary.
Okay.
Let me just tell you, this book is written by Jordan Wagman and Jill Hillhouse, and it's from Robert Rose Inc., and I will link this in my description below.
Fantastic book. Fantastic book. So it basically says that during your baby's first year, it usually takes 6 to 10 attempts before most will accept a new flavor and or texture. Now, Maddie is very different. She usually will tell you within the first 3 bites whether or not she likes it. And the first bite is always random. You get this space. But then she opens her mouth, and by bite 3, she's like,
but it's important not to give up. If you're introducing a food to your child and they kind of balk at it, just keep introducing it. Like maybe once a week, just try it. Like I tell Justice, he's 5. You have to taste it. If you don't like it, you don't have to eat it, but I need you to try it. And he does.
The only food that she didn't like plain was broccoli, and I ended up introducing it with like bananas and stuff, and now she'll eat it as long as it's well blended.
And when you feed your baby a variety of foods, it prepares them for a variety of different tastes. They don't, like we don't just give Maddie fruits. We give her vegetables. We give her grains. We give her, quinoa. We give her oats. So she's getting introduced to a lot of different tastes and lots of textures. That's important. Okay.
Yep. And it also protects them from being a picky eater.
Right.
The best way to provide your child with a balanced diet based on whole foods is by making your own baby food by using the freshest, highest quality ingredients you can find.
What about organic, Jessica?
They say organic is the best way to go because it doesn't... With organic foods, you're getting strictly like raw, live foods, which means it's free of pesticides, herbicides, GMOs. I mean,
which foods do you think? And I know you took a really good look at this book. Mm-hmm. Which foods are notoriously high in pesticides?
Apples.
Really?
Yes.
So even
we have apples, and the least are pears, but they are still the top 20 offenders.
But if they're organic, that's okay.
If they're organic, they're okay.
Okay.
But the list includes strawberries, grapes, celery, peaches, spinach, domestic and imported nectarines, blueberries, plums, cherries.
Okay. Now, what about, gluten-free is all the rage. Gluten-free.
That's up for debate. Really, it depends. If your child has a gluten allergy, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. But if you're not going to introduce wheat, like no gluten, you need to find substitutions like quinoa and things like that.
Right.
The same with vegetarian diet. It's up to you.
Quinoa, buckwheat, millet, oats, teff. There's a ton of different things and your child is still getting whole grains, right, but they're not getting the gluten. But I think this book reiterates that you just don't know. You don't have to just start a gluten-free diet for no good reason.
Right.
What about a vegetarian diet? Because we're vegetarian.
We are vegetarian.
What does this book say?
Once again, that's up for debate as well, because first of all, they say, you can introduce fish into the baby's diet at 6 to 9 months, but you need to be careful of allergies.
They used to say wait until after a year. Now, mm-hmm, and this book talks all about that, mm-hmm, when the best time to introduce. The American Academy of Pediatrics is now recommending around 6 months of age. Maddie does not eat fish.
She does not eat meat either.
Right.
But with that, you also have to substitute. So if you're not giving your child meat or you're not
animal proteins,
right, then you have to give them beans and make sure that you know your substitutions for
tofu,
iron. And
right. And we talk to your doctor. Absolutely, talk to your doctor. That's what we did, and our doctor gave us the go ahead. She said, you guys are vegetarians. You've been vegetarians for years. You know what to do, and I'm fine with that. But check with your doctor.
And I'm breastfeeding, so she's definitely getting the fat, which they say babies do not need to be. It is unacceptable for them to be on a low-fat diet.
And this
whatsoever.
has not changed for ages. I remember back in the day, no fat, fat-free diets were the rage, and people were giving their babies skim milk. They were, weaning them from breast milk, which is best. We all know that if you can't breastfeed, there are really, really good formulas. But they were weaning them from breast milk and formula to skim milk. That's an absolute no-no. Your baby needs the fat. Their brain needs that fat for development.
Well, this book makes a good point, too, that breast milk is 50% fat. So if that's not Mother Nature's way of telling you that babies need the essential energy,
right,
the fat energy, then, what is?
Right. Is making your baby food at home difficult? I mean, I know I'm doing single ingredients.
Matter of fact.
Sometimes I'll mix. I'll bake a sweet potato, bake it, and I'll put it in my blend tech with some applesauce or some blueberries. So we know that's not difficult. But
on page 31, it tells you basically everything you need. And as a matter of fact, I probably only have about half this that you need.
Yeah,
you can see that.
So it says some of the recommended equipment. Immersion blender, all-purpose blender, potato masher, whisk, heat-proof rubber spatula. These are things most people have in their kitchen.
Right.
Tongs, colander, sharp knife, baking dish, grinder, food thermometer. I've just really used my blender. Of course, everyone has a knife.
I have a
blender,
magic bullet.
right? And she is, she loves the. I don't think I've ever made anything. The one thing she does not like, strawberries. The seeds. I think it's the seeds or something.
You mix it up.
If I mix it with sweet potatoes, she loves it. So,
but can you talk about your cutting board, because they say here that you need to have a clean surface?
Absolutely. This goes for all foods, for all people, for the elderly, for everyone. Do not cut your meat on the same cutting board that you're using to cut your fruits and vegetables. I have a wooden cutting board that I love. My daughter gave it to me for Christmas, and I love it. No meat will touch that cutting board. That cutting board is strictly for fruits and vegetables. Hubby knows that. First of all, wood gets cuts in it, and those are a prime source for contamination. My suggestion is, if you're going to, of course you're going to use a cutting board for chicken and meat. Get a glass one. Get a Corningware one. That way it can be scrubbed and put in the dishwasher. I never had a wooden cutting board before because I did not like it, but my whole family knows. My wooden cutting board that sits on my counter, and I use it numerous times a day. My little guy wants an apple, I cut him an apple. When I go to mash my pears for the baby, that's fruits and vegetables only. You can get salmonella, E. coli, listeria. You can get a myriad of foodborne illnesses just from transferring the contaminants from one food to another through a cutting board. Be very, very cautious. Very cautious.
Very cautious.
So,
also sanitize your working area.
Wash your hands.
Hot water and wash your hands.
Always.
Say this in the book.
Did you look through here some of your favorite recipes? These are not hard to make.
Well, and it's divided by age. So page 56 looked really good. You got your purees going. You got your blueberry apple puree. You got roasted banana purees.
It starts with the single fruits. It's like starting salad month, 6 to 9 months. And it starts with the single fruits, the single vegetables, the single grains, the whole grains, the meats and legumes. Like, we're not going to make her meats. She'll get beans. So like white navy beans and beef puree. I would just leave out the beef. I mean, I would just add I wouldn't really add anything. I would serve it with a grain. Green bean puree with fresh basil. I give her green beans all the time, but I never thought to add basil. Although when I make her like carrots or something like that, we do add garlic.
Yep,
I do add cinnamon
now.
Because I want to. No, I never add salt. I don't add sugar because I don't want her taste buds to be, become accustomed to that.
Well, also, and that's a GMO.
Right. You know what? Even if you're growing your own foods at home, I have a garden. Make sure you're buying non-GMO seeds because some of the seeds can be genetically modified. Anyway, the next chapter, after the single fruits, caramelized parsnip puree. She would love that,
Wonderful.
Jessica.
This is some of the stuff we haven't even thought of. Avocado, carrot, and cucumber puree.
Now, I've made her avocado and carrots. I've pureed that, but I've never even thought to add cucumber.
And avocado is one of the safest vegetables as far as pesticides go, or
And
fruits, whatever it is, a fruit.
It is. And it's really, really recommended because it's high in the MUFAs, the monounsaturated fatty acids that babies do need for brain development. You don't want to feed them whole avocado because it's very, very, very rich. But, a quarter or an eighth or a slice and you mash it into their food. But I never thought to, she loves to munch on cucumbers, but I never thought to add the cucumbers into the puree. That's a great idea. And they were also getting their liquids and watery fruits that way because they need that too.
The hydration.
Yeah. Okay, so now this next chapter that I really like this, Jessica, tells about making your own baby's yogurt and stuff, establishing preferences, and it goes on, still, dishes with dairy, homemade yogurt, poached garlic with thyme and sour cream. She would like that, Jessica.
She would love it. Maddie's such a foodie. Such a foodie.
I mean, 9 to 12 months, she would eat stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Colorful vegetable medley. I mean, these are really great recipes. Do they add sugar into their recipes, Jessica? Do you know?
I don't think so, only because they had mentioned, according to the EWG, Environmental Working Group, that common GE foods, genetically engineered foods, are field corn and corn derivatives, soybeans and soybean-derived ingredients, sugar beets and sugar, that includes sugar, and vegetable oils with like canola, cottonseed, soybean, and corn oil. So I don't know if they add sugar to anything.
There is a chapter. Well, it says starting solids, establishing preferences, food for toddlers. Just look at that real quick. Food for toddlers. This would be Justice. Although he's not really a toddler, he's a little boy, but still.
Yeah, but they talk about putting
crispy potato galette. So that's almost like a little, broccoli, potato, and spinach pie. I'd eat that. I would eat that.
Shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
I would eat that too.
Now, the last chapter is snacks and toddlers, which is what I'm interested in. Babies need snacks. They are running around. They are crawling. They expend their energy. Babies do need snacks. That's why you go to preschool and they're serving breakfast and lunch and a snack and a snack.
But that doesn't mean to go down on and wean your child off of breast milk or their formula.
No.
That's not what they're saying here.
I believe now, it used to be the American Academy of Pediatrics recommended breastfeeding up to a year. And I think now they're saying at least a year. At least a year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
up to 3 years.
So, baby, you don't have to give up breast milk and put them on a cup of whole milk or whatever. You breastfeed in conjunction with
and or add it to the foods. Right. That's what we do too.
Right. When Maddie gets oatmeal, we mix it with breast milk. We don't mix with milk or, nuts are off limits for her right now. She's still too little. No honey, no nuts. Certain things they're off limits. Check with your pediatrician. But when she eats Cheerios, we just give it to her with breast milk.
Mm-hmm.
And she loves it. So I'm looking at the snacks and desserts, and they seem to all be fruit-based and vegetable-based. Roasted red pepper vinaigrette.
Oh, wow.
That would be great on a little, maybe to dip with carrots or something like that. Orange yogurt smoothie. Frozen blueberry sorbet. My mom's applesauce. Frozen mango mousse. Chocolate macaroons. I got to see what that is. Because it's chocolate, Jessica. It's going to hit
all about the chocolate. We haven't given Maddie chocolate yet.
No. Chocolate macaroons. Egg whites. This you can see this is for an older baby. Egg whites. Coconut sugar, unsweetened shredded coconut, not the stuff you buy in a bag in the store that's coated in sugar. Yeah. That's disgusting. And milk sweet or semi-sweet chocolate chips. So, this would make a more calorie-dense snack probably for a baby who's very, very busy and an older child. Right. This is a great cookbook, Jessica. It's a great book.
Because children need their fat.
Your final thoughts, my darling?
Love the book. Love it. This is wonderful. I've already read up on baby food and breast milk, and I'm like a guru at breastfeeding, and so are you, a lactation nurse. So I think this book is fantastic, and I'm going to add it to my staple of books that I use. And I think my other daughter will really like this too. Because she's also going to make her food. Robert Rose Books, if you want to check them out, www.robertrose.ca. They're in Canada. Their books, however, they may be in Canada, but I was at the library the other day looking at cookbooks, and my library is filled with Robert Rose books. They are fabulous. You can also check out www.LeslieLovesVeggies.net for my review of a ton of Robert Rose cookbooks. I don't think there's one that I have not absolutely loved. I love this book. Yeah. I'm so glad I got the chance to read it. Jessica was sitting taking notes to bring home, and I'm like, then you can take the book. Maddie rears her little head. Anyway, that's our sign to go. If you like our video, please give us a thumbs up.
Not a thumbs down.
Because I really tried.
She tried.
I really tried. I was prepared for
She was
this
prepared.
one.
She really was prepared. You took the bull by the horns, Jessica.
I got it.
You got this one.
Said I got it. I got it.
And be sure to subscribe.
Why not?
Why not? Is it like there?
It's up there?
It's up there. Down. Where is it?
Right here.
Is it here? Here, like
Maybe. Like
not
right
there.
Here. Oh, yeah,
Here?
not there, but
No.
there. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.